Episode number 82.
That lasted way too long. For a second, I thought we were gonna have to restart that.
Never.
Never. Okay, so today we'll be talking about being of service to others. So Mario.
Why me?
Fine. I'll start us off. But really, when you think about it, guys, and when you really think about it, this whole life revolves around being of service to others, or that's what you should strive to do if you want success and happiness.
Sure.
And that's anywhere, in the smallest ways, as throwing out a compliment, being nice, showing kindness, and anywhere as far as starting a business and giving service to other people, something that makes other people's lives better. And that's the only way we've been able to innovate and what's it called, advance throughout human history is by finding better ways of being of service to others. That's the only way we've been able to advance. It's okay, well, we have horse carriages. How can we make people's lives easier? What can we do to, and so everything, and basically the bigger the ideas, the more money there is behind that too. So
Exactly.
when you're going to business, needs to be your number one focus. When you want to be a kind, happy person, this needs to be your number one focus. Because giving someone joy, giving someone, a peace of mind should be of utmost importance to you as a person. You should continuously strive to be of better service to other people, whether it's in business form, whether, again, being a nice person. So,
Yeah, and you know what? By you saying that, it reminds me, it's also about the quality of the service, right? You can provide service and you can do the worst job, but obviously you won't reap the benefits out of it. But, providing quality service, taking care of the customer, showing that you care about the job, you literally care about it, it will reap. You get what you return, you get what you put out. And not only in any service business, it's a service of a product, whatever inventions people come out with. These people are millionaires, billionaires by simply helping people, providing them with some sort of what would you say, advantage or product, or just something to
solving their problem,
right? Yeah. Increase their quality of life by simply making a product or service. And that's really what it is. It breaks down to just taking care of as many people as you can. And that's really what life evolves around, like you say. And I have been listening to podcasts recently, and each person mentions, being in service to people, providing quality service, and how important it is, and how simply doing that can not only make you feel a million times better, but knowing that you are helping as many people as you can by whatever you do. I'm pretty sure you would think back to these moments not the millions of dollars you made, but how you made people feel, because that's how they're going to remember you.
Yes.
So that's really what it is.
That's a good way to say it. They're not going to remember you by I paid this guy $100 one time. They're going to remember by how you made them feel. But they're going to remember you by what you did for them, what product you sold to them, and how it's making their life better.
Ooh.
That's the number one point right there. And I guess bringing it down specifically to business, with my company, the way it's evolved throughout time, and the only way it's been able to evolve in a positive way throughout time, is by realizing that the better you treat the customer, the more things you can do for the customer, that's the better your business overall. That needs to be your number one focus. Is treating them better, making sure you're doing the best possible job ever. Because like you said, you can go over there and just provide service and do a shitty job and just go out there and do it for the money. You gotta realize it's more than that. Once you start to focus less on money and more on the service you're providing, money will be a direct result of that. It's the side effect. As long as you focus on being a better service each and every time, that money has to come. That shouldn't be your focus. And I guess a mini story time, and just something I was going through back then, is when I first started up WashWeb, I'd always be focused on, okay, I need to do this many cars, this many days a week, and I should be able to, make more this way, or make this much weekly. And so I always had this obsession with even when I was getting a few cars here and there, I was okay, if I finish these 3 cars in this amount of time, I technically make $20-$25 an hour. And that I was just obsessed with this idea of how many cars can I do and how short time. And obviously I stayed stagnant, and it's the moment I started focusing and said on, I'm just throwing that mentality away. Why focus on the money? It's more of I'm doing the best possible job that I can within whatever time it fucking takes. I'm gonna do the best job that I can. and because I'm gonna get paid at the end of the day anyway. Like even if this takes me an hour longer than what it should, I'm still gonna get paid anyway. And to me, it's not as much effort because I'd rather be doing this anyway than being anywhere else. And so to me, like it stopped mattering. And the moment that happened, it's insane. Like the way just life is the moment that I had that mentality switch, the moment I started focusing better on, okay, what can I do that I'm already doing better? Because I was always obsessed with like, okay, I'm gonna go out and start this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go out and do all these things. And you know, it's like you're trying to you just have way too much on your plate. It's like you don't even know what to go at first. And so I was always just like looking around for ways to make money and do all these things. And what it really just boiled down to, how can I do what I'm already doing better? Like, I didn't even have to look that far because it's like I already have a business I can focus on. I was over here acting desperate, trying to look for multiple ways to make money when really I already had this skill that I learned that I could just focus on. Okay, doing better customer service, better details, better things. And the moment that I started focusing on those things, that's when I got more clients. That's when word of mouth was doing its thing. That's when more money started coming in. And Mario was like at the you joined when we were looking at that ride up.
Yeah.
Because shortly after, that's when I was like, okay, perfect. It's weird you hit me up at the perfect time too, because that's when like I started. Yeah, it's insane. And like Mario's been a part of it. He's seen the growth as well, and like we've even had to up our prices. It's a blessing. We've had to up our prices because we realize that the value that we're putting out there is too good to just be like all that.
That's so important that you hit on this, because not only do we strive to provide quality service, but it's also like investing in what we do. So buying things to make our job more efficient, to work smarter rather than harder, because we know not only does that affect us, but it's also like providing the best service we can to these people. And that's like really what it boils down to. If you have like a service, an idea, and you really put your all into it, reinvest into whatever it is, you will start to see, because obviously we notice now consistent clients, consistent tips as well. Not only do we don't only see these people as like a currency, but we see them as human beings. We have conversations, we get to know them. That's just really what it's awesome to like meet these amazing people like with awesome stories as well. And them, like, it's crazy how nice these people can be to you. And they see like you really do put in work, and they notice it. And that's like so awesome to see when you start to care about the craft.
No, exactly. And it's to me, it's like, it's so embarrassing to think about how it was back then. Like it was just, again, it wasn't my fault. It was like ignorance. Like I didn't really know. I barely got into the whole entrepreneur path. But it was like, I'd really walk into a building, into an office, and like, or go to someone's house and just be like, okay, yeah, I'm here. Where's the car? Like just go straight up there, do the vehicle, and then that's it. But like now I see like the whole I guess character development in myself, and I realize that it's not that anymore. It's conversations. It's asking how the day was, or what they've been doing. I'm like, oh, that's this is nice, or just more into conversation, caring more about the customer, because that's what it is. And it comes from a place of being genuine too. It's not just like, oh, I'm gonna like, no, it's actually genuine, because you learn so much from these people. They have stories to tell. There's things that they want to tell you, and at the end of the day, you are also a part of the service that you're providing. The way they see you, the way the impressions that you give them, that all ties into all types of blessings. The way they recommend you, the tips that they'll give you after you're done. I mean, it all ties into it, and we've seen the results of that. Yes. I mean, and like you said, also investing in doing an even better job. You get that money. You're not only like, oh, I'm gonna just keep the equipment I have. I'm doing good that way. No, it's insane. Like the moment you start reinvesting and getting all that crazy stuff, that awesome stuff. I mean, literally, you saw the benefits.
Yeah, it like reaped what it sowed.
Literally.
And this reminds me of like we say, providing quality service. So basically, it's insane that we mentioned this, because my barber actually, so he stopped working for other people, right? And he started to work for himself. But he has this pet peeve he has, and he realizes it from working with other people and barbers, because obviously people care about their hair, really do. And him as a person, he noticed that other people, they would just do it for money. They'll see how quick we can do it, how many people we can get. Right? Yeah, exactly. So they'll just do it like as quick as they can, so they can get fast money and quick. But then you would notice that like maybe these people weren't as happy with it. They didn't come back as often. You see that. they weren't happy with what service you provided them. And he like I would say he prides himself, but on like taking time, making sure it's quality.
Yo, it's crazy you mentioned that. He's always been big on that.
Yeah, he is, bro, and he always like realizes, it's important how you treat it and how it comes out, because obviously that gets the people wanting to come back. It keeps wanting to see you. Not only that, but providing like a good conversation, actually getting to know you, and like it's really bases down to you see the effects, right? Because people, they run through people, but they'll never come back, or maybe they're like, fuck, this was a mistake. I wish I wouldn't have, and then they see you differently. Now you're like, really, you repel people. You repel other people, because not only are they talking about themselves, but they tell their friends, their family. They're like, yeah, this guy did the worst job ever. I wish I wouldn't have.
Yeah.
But then you flip it to the good side, and you're like, wow, this guy did the best job. Like, please go to him. Like, I promise you, he'll do good. And that's really what it is.
Yeah. No, it's crazy you mentioned that, because I just noticed with the whole barbershop thing. That's so true. Like, I realized with him specifically, he wants to have a conversation. He asks you questions, he talks to you, and all this stuff. And with the others, like, they usually just talk to themselves. And, like, they're just laughing. They're just like, you're like, oh yeah, man. They're just over here like cutting stuff. And I've noticed that change, and that's awesome that he knows that. Like, that's. I mean, you can see the effects of that. That's amazing. But yeah, I mean, this carries over into any job, any business that you're doing. The service that you put out there should be your utmost priority, because that's what you can do at that moment, and the only thing you can do to change that is being better at it. And there's this saying about it's the law of compensation, and it's about like it's anyone rich or poor. This is the law of compensation. It applies to everyone, and it's the way people will always learn money, or like the equivalent of how much money you will be earning. And it's the need for what you do, your ability to do it, and the difficulty there is in replacing you. So these three things will always affect your pay. Like your pay, the money you make, whether your job, self-employed, whatever, will always tie into those three questions. The need for what you do, your ability to do it, and the difficulty there is in replacing you. And so I learned this from Bob Proctor, and it's the best thing ever. Yeah.
So good. Please
so
right now.
Yeah. So the thing is, I hope I can kind of remember the whole way, because there's a way of delivering the message that I want to hit on, and it's to make it make sense.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, the need for what you do, if you're already doing it, then it should be there, right? In the marketplace that you're in, you're probably looking. So the need for what you do is probably already eliminated, so you don't have to worry about that. So again, when you're looking at law of compensation and the money you should be earning, that's the first thing. Is the need for what you do. Is there a need for what you do? The chances are that there is. If you're doing it out here, if you're putting out there, you don't have to worry about that. Okay, there's a need for what you do. Awesome. So get that out of the list. And then you go down to the third question. We're gonna skip the second one, but the third question is the difficulty there is in replacing you. That one takes care of itself when you take care of number two, your ability to do it. So your ability to do it, that's the only thing you have control over. So those three questions, the need for what you do, your ability to do it, and the difficulty there is in replacing you. You don't have to worry about this one. I mean, once you got that one figured out, you got it figured out. Okay, you found out what you want to offer. Awesome. Your ability to do it, that's the only thing you have really control over. The better you get at it, the more you invest in yourself, the better your equipment, the better whatever, the better customer service, all these things. There's so much you can change using this, and the third statement will take care of itself. The difficulty there's replacing you. If you get yourself up to a level where you're unmatched in your craft, in your skill or whatever it is, like that all affects your pay, and it can only go up from there as long as you focus on your ability to do whatever you're doing. The better you get, the harder it is to replace you. The more money you make.
Exactly. You know what this reminds me of? Specifically, this YouTuber that does our job. He details the detail geek stuff. He's gone to the point. He gets millions of views on YouTube doing what he does. And now, obviously people see it. They're like, whoa, he's top tier. So he's able to charge large amounts for whatever he does, simply because not only the popularity, but everyone witnesses. They're like, wow, you know what? No one else is going to be able to do it like he does. So I want to go to him. Like, that you gravitate. It's because you really put yourself on a different scale, right? You're not. You can't. Not everyone is able to compete at your level because you raise the bar so high, and that's awesome.
No, yeah, that's the thing with that whole law of compensation, is you can take it across anywhere. Because if you think about it, of course every job is essential here. I'm not bashing on anyone or anything. We've all been there. But fast food chains, there's a reason why they pay what they pay. There's a reason why you can't always raise it to $15 an hour, $20 an hour, and it's
wow,
because
that's good.
there is a need for what you do. You know, millions of people, tens of millions of people go out there and eat fast food, right? The need is there.
Mm-hmm.
But the difficulty there is in replacing you, very easy. Yeah, there's little to no difficulty in replacing you. That's why the pay kind of like, you know, the need for what you do is high. So let's say your pay is like all the way up here. But then you go down the question, your ability to do it, okay, well that kind of affects it. You can become the best at any position, but you'll still be capped because of the difficulty there is in replacing you.
Mm-hmm.
So just because of that, then you get to finally understand the way, you know, the economy works. That's when you get to understand the reason why people pay these wages, and it's based on that. It's based on the demand. It's based on how easy they can replace you. If you're like top level in some company, in some business, they're gonna worry about losing you, and because of that, their pay is gonna be higher. Those promotions are gonna keep on coming your way because that is equivalent to I guess your the way that you do your job, the way that you do your skill.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you look at any business, like okay, when you start thinking about business, oh, that's why they pay this much here and they pay a little bit more here and they pay a lot over here and like not so much over here, is because when you apply the law of compensation to all these businesses, you finally get to understand, it makes sense.
That's so good. That's a huge point, bro.
Yeah.
Like the ability to realize that you're valuable. It's really like making yourself as valuable as you can in the space that you are in.
Yeah.
Because that therefore leads to you not being able to be replaced so easily, and you see that, and that's like you're saying.
Exactly, and like some people like to bash on athletes, you know, and the millions of dollars they make, and some people like to bash on these UFC fights. They're like, why in the hell are they making that much money? Like there's a reason. It's huge. It's a huge industry. We're the ones that feed into this system, I guess. We're the ones that are the reason they're getting paid. If we take an interest in the UFC, if we take an interest in FIFA, in soccer, you know, things like that, that's already our view towards them. Like it's huge. Like even if you don't partake in it, you've obviously heard of it, and so that's why these people get paid so much because there's a difficulty in replacing them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know what? That reminds me of specifically too. Even in these high athletes space, yes, there's the really top athletes that get paid large amounts, and then there's obviously lower athletes and then that don't get paid as much. Yeah. But the value of these top tier show in, you know, their game. How good are they? What do they provide the team? The value, and that's you know it's crazy how it works there too. Like yes, these lower tier athletes compared to the top tier are still valuable. Yeah. Therefore, they still get paid a large amounts because if you put them in a scenario of average human beings, they would destroy them in whatever it is. Yeah. Because they're so top tier, so they're still valuable. Yeah. But that shows, you know, that literally shows in that like everyone is valuable, but you know, like the work ethic, you know, the nights that they do training every single day, consistency, what they do outside of it shows into their game. That's like, you know, when you say valuable work, how you can't replace these guys. These are one of a kind guys. Yeah, exactly. And whatever it is.
Yeah, there's levels to it, and of course, there's always going to come someone to, you know, eventually replace these people. Yeah. You know, it's a cycle of life and death, of, you know, starting and ending things, and it's just there's always going to come a point where you can always get better than these people, but are you willing to, or do you not believe that you even can?
That's true.
You know, and so even with top tier athletes, even they have to retire one day. You know, they got to call it quits and enjoy their money. You know, but no, it's insane how you can apply that to even sports, and it's the same thing because that work ethic is unmatched. Their performance is unmatched. There's a reason why they stand up above the rest. You know, you wouldn't know these names if they didn't. You know, it could be switched out the other way around, but you know, it's all about that work. It's about that work ethic. It's about them figuring out how they can get better at their craft, better at their skill. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, I guess that's our advice to you guys is figure out how you can do what you're already doing better. Look for solutions to everyday problems and realize, you know what, this is good. If you have an idea that's roaming around your head, you know, put it out there. What's it called? Sarah Blakely, the female billionaire, said something about everyone has at least $1 million idea. Ooh. You know, at least. Mm-hmm. Maybe even $1 billion idea. But the difference between the people that make it and the people who don't are the ones that are willing to act on it, are the ones that are willing to put it out there.
That's important.
But every single one of you guys listening, you guys watching, has at least a $1 million idea that's going to cross your mind. You know, maybe multiple, you know, but the difference is you might not act on it. You might think, that's kind of dumb. That wouldn't work. Oh, I don't have the money to do that right now. You know, that's a good idea, but not quite. and you doubt yourself, or you bring it up to
Yeah.
a family member, they doubt you, and
Mhm.
it dies. And a few years down the line, someone else will come up with it, or whatever. And
Yeah.
but the point is, money leads to so many things. Money is a tool.
Yeah. It is.
To us, we're gonna use it to give so much,
Yep,
and that's what I
generosity.
want to put out there. And
Generosity.
generosity.
That's always what it's gonna be, bro. That's why
Exactly.
philanthropist is what we will become. Not only, like, that's really what it is. Just help as many people as we can, and that's how we really do know that we will succeed because of this mindset of wanting to simply help and serve at the highest quality, because that's literally what we care about.
Yeah, and you guys will see the results. I hope y'all know,
Yes.
like, y'all are coming along the
Yes.
journey, like, with us. Like, you're watching the way that the mindset that we're putting out there is the same thing that's gonna work for us. It's gonna help us become whatever we want to become. It's gonna help us get there, because y'all are listening. Like, we're not just like preaching this and just saying all this stuff to y'all. We're playing it to
Yeah.
ourselves. And y'all will see that over time, we're gonna get closer and closer to these goals, and we're gonna reach them. You're gonna be like, wow, that's actually pretty cool. It works.
Yeah,
But
it does.
we want y'all to start applying these things too. We want you to start realizing these things too, and work your way up to where you want to be, because you deserve it.
Yeah, they do, and everyone deserves to have an abundant, full life, and that's what we're striving to have, and what we do have. Let me say that.
Yes.
And that's really what it is. That's really what it is. Unless you
Yeah,
have
it is.
something else to add, Harvey.
No, I guess that's it. Just focus on being of service to others. Make someone else's day better.
Yeah, no, that's so important. Make anyone's day better. So thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you.
Now it's done.
And now, YouTubers, look at you guys.
YouTubers.
We need to get our subscribers on YouTube. Look at our YouTube watchers. Y'all need to go ahead and click that subscribe button,
Yeah,
so we can get our numbers up right there. Leave a comment on anything that you heard that you say, oh, this is interesting, or oh, I kind of didn't like that. Whatever it is, hit us with it.
That's so
Hit us with
important.
it. And also hit that like button
Yes.
as well. It's right there. Turn it blue, please. And thank you. And I think that's it, unless you want to hit on with something
I
else.
think that's pretty much it, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you. The support is really appreciated.
It is. Thank you so much.